truth from falsehood. They recognize it. And once they recognize it, they make their mind, and rest of it they spend in learning, in progressing. Not that one day here, one day there, wandering. Are we sure that we are going to be alive tomorrow? Can we afford to burn the candle of life? There are some people who use their oaths as a shield to cover themselves up from you and I, so that you and I wouldn't recognize their true nature, in order to deceive us, in order to hinder us away from the path of God. And of course, every one of us say, no, nobody can deceive me. Yes, all humanity say the same thing, but majority of human beings are deceived by the arch deceiver, Satan, number one, and his agents, number two. Everybody, if there is not a single human being that you can corner and say, are you a stupid person? Are you foolish? Are you susceptible to be deceived? And you will say, yes, I am. I can be deceived easily. Everybody thinks they're intelligent. Satan deceives step by step. That's why Quran says, لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. Do not follow the footsteps of Satan. Footsteps. Satan cannot deceive man abruptly, all of a sudden. Man is equipped by the grace of God with certain faculties, like intellectual faculty, power of reasoning, that Satan cannot overpower that abruptly. It's too powerful. Satan deceives man step by step. He uses heedlessness of man. He draws his attention somewhere else. He doesn't let him. He deceives man step by step. He uses the heedlessness of man. He draws his attention somewhere else, and he injects his poison. You have to be focused. You have to. Calm down, buddy. He sends his agents in order to distract. You have to make sure that you don't lose your focus. They use their tactics is this. They use their oath as a shield so that you don't recognize them, so that they could hinder people away from the path of Allah. اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة فصدوا عن سبيل الله. Then Quran continues by saying, فَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. Indeed, for them there is a degrading punishment. Not only vigorous punishment, hard chastisement, but degrading. It would degrade them, because they want people to be hindered away from the path of Allah. Again, the punishment is appropriate. They want to separate people from the path of Allah. And whoever would be separated from God, humility would be the consequence of that separation. Because you become a slave. As long as you are servant of God, you are free. In a real sense, not in a Western definition of freedom. Western definition of freedom is a slavery. When they say you can take off your clothes, you can put makeup on yourself, you can do whatever you want, that's a slavery to carnal desire, number one. I can do whatever I want, so let me use drugs. That's a slavery. I can drink whatever I want. Let me drink alcoholic beverages. That's a slavery. It addicts you. What is addiction? A slavery. Any gate that the Western world has opened under the title of freedom, in fact, causes addiction. You go ponder tonight. You go ponder tonight. Most of the gates that the Western world has opened to mankind under the pretext of freedom causes addiction. You are free to look at every picture you want. Causes addiction. If you start looking at pornographic pictures, you get addicted to it. Alcohol, you get addicted to it. It's a slavery. But servitude of God produces absolute freedom. So Satan and his agents know that. They want to enslave man. But they know in order to enslave man, they have to hinder man from the path of God. And they use everything in their disposal to do that. Quran has mentioned one of the effective tactics. Oath, swearing. They talk such a way that you just fall for it. But they talk lies. وَيَحْلِفُونَ عَلَى الْكَذِبِ. They lie, they swear lies. They swear lies. Ask them proof. Use your intellectual faculty, see if it makes sense what they are saying to you. Don't just look at how firm they are saying it. Does it make sense? That's why, because they separated people, or they intend to separate people from the path of God, and whoever would be separated from the path of God would go to the domain of enslavement, humiliation. Allah, as a result, for those who cause such a separation, has prepared a humiliating punishment. فَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَلِيمٌ. Every punishment of Allah is appropriate to the action that man has committed. فَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. فَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. Allah would punish them with a humiliating punishment, because they separated people from the path of God. And whoever would be separated from the path of God automatically would be humiliated. Because might and honor comes only through servitude of God. Then verse number 17 says, لَنْ تُغْنِيَ عَنْهُمْ أَمْوَالُهُمْ وَلَا أَوْلَادُهُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ شَيْئًا. Let me tell them, sisters and brothers, do not respond to any of the people in here. I humbly ask every one of you, do not respond to anyone in here. Pay attention. Let them write as much as they want on the text. Some of these people are sincere, but majority of them are not. Majority of them are here to distract. And on time they leave. Just don't nourish them. If somebody came to the room, said salam, one person is enough to answer the salam. One. If you saw one person answer the salam, alhamdulillah. Rest of you don't need to answer the salam. That's the command of our Prophet. In a gathering, if a person enters the gathering, gave salam, greetings, only one person, one member of congregation, answers him is enough. It suffices. Then after that, let the person write on the text. Don't respond. Pay attention. لَنْ تُغْنِيَ عَنْهُمْ أَمْوَالُهُمْ وَلَا أَوْلَادُهُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ شَيْئًا. In this worldly life, wealth, which is symbolic representation of economical power. Awlad, children, which is representative of military power or might, physical power. Quran has used these two terms in order to symbolize the most effective mechanism of refuge apparently for many people in this physical realm. Quran says, let me tell them, their wealth and their children would not suffice from Allah anything. Don't let them to think that few days they are going to play, but like the trickery that they